All right, I'm gonna jump on here. Trying something a little different. I've been lazy, but I think that's a good thing. I've been using my Pocket 3. I think I'm still gonna try and do that just because it's easier to go ahead and use that and just do a quick video. The mic is all connected wirelessly, so it's just easier. I'm not really a video guy. I'm more photography based, so I like doing that more. But I figured it'd be beneficial somewhat to go ahead and do this video using the Leica SL3. Education for myself and maybe any of you guys to see, hey, how does this look? Right now, I'm gonna do half of this video with, because I wanted to see, and this may be a good test for myself, to go ahead and see what the best settings would be. I've got, for focusing, I've got the intelligent autofocus on there, the IAF. So I want to see if for these kind of things, talking head, if this works better and it prevents a lot of that hunting that used to be an issue with the SL3, and obviously clearly with the contrast detect any older models than that. Now, like SL3 was the first one to have the phase detect, so but it's still kind of very subtle. It was definitely a lot better than the contrast detect systems of the Leica SLs prior. But I want to see whether this IAF system works, or at some point I'll let you know when I stop the video and switch it over. I'm going to try the continuous autofocus and see if there's a difference, if one's better than the other. Maybe both of them are good. Maybe both of them are not good. We'll see. But anyway, I wanted to jump on. First part of this video is just to tell you guys I recently did a shoot. I wanted to go ahead and try this Hasselblad, the X2D 100. I wanted to try this out on an outdoor shoot. I tried it out on a studio shoot, prior video that I posted. Primarily, if you guys don't know me, I'm primarily a commercial and portrait photographer. I do take landscapes, and I have a family, so obviously I'm taking photos recreational for myself when it comes to landscapes, or also just kind of travel family stuff. So I have kids. Autofocus for a daily driver has proven to be more practical for me. uh, but I want to give this camera a shot because I do have a projects, and I have had a need where I wanted to print larger, larger than 36 or 39 on the long end. I've wanted to, and I had needed to print closer to 40, 50 inches on the long side. And my 60 megapixels wasn't quite enough. Now you also had pixel shift, but I didn't have the pixel shift on an SL3, and I don't think I had it on the M11. And I have printed, made some prints that are about like just under 40 inches, about 36, 39 inches on the long end. So they're larger prints, but and those came out great. Now I could have probably gone lower than 300 DPI, and that's something I'm still kind of learning myself. Kind of going off on a tangent here, but the whole point of this video is to go ahead and tell you guys how the Hasselblad X2D was outdoors, fashion photography, shooting gowns for a local brand. Long story short, a lot better than I thought. I definitely brought the SL3-S with me because it also has the video function. I was taking video. Still really love this camera. Autofocus on it is amazing. The autofocus in video is amazing. The video I got was probably the best video. The tracking was super sticky. This was the best video I've ever gotten on a Leica. And honestly, I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. I'm not a big video guy. So to me, the using video on the Leica SL bodies, even when it was SL2, it's really easy for me. I've got the settings set up. I got a quick button on the top that goes straight over to video. And then I've got my like main 3 or 4 video profiles all set up. So I can go to whatever video I want, whether it's 60 frames per second or 24 frames per second or open gate. And I've got that all really quick. I don't shoot in RAW. I really like the standard color profile. I've gone back and forth between the natural and standard. I think I really like the standard color profile on the Leica. The natural is a little bit too muted for me. I mean, the natural is a little too muted. I like the standard. Is that what I said? So that's kind of where I'm at with that one. But this thing held up really well. Why would I bring this? Not use, I just wanted to try it out. I wanted to see. Plus, this was for a commercial for a brand, so the colors I know is going to be more accurate. So I want to compare the colors in the dresses and see how that would compare with the SL3S. Um, Cut to the chase. The colors were really similar, really similar. However, on the X2D, I was surprised at how many shots I got in focus. I either totally missed them or they were spot on focus. I was tack sharp. Again, I continue to say now this is an indoor studio shoot and an outdoor shoot, in addition to all the other stuff I'm shooting on my own. These were two full shoot situations, real situation, shooting for 2 hours for this one. The studio shoot was about an hour and a half. Really surprised of how sharp this is. And I say that because I had contrast detect focus system on the Leica SL2-S. Even when it would say it was in focus and it would detect the face and the face detect, it wouldn't always be tack sharp on the eye itself. It would maybe be on the eyelashes or on the eyebrow or the hair or the face. So that's why I say that. I'm somewhat familiar with these systems. And even though they say it's phase detect, obviously you don't have continuous autofocus. I don't know the details to that. I don't think I've seen any literature or seen any YouTubes that anyone has really kind of given some concrete information to fully that I understand or explain how this camera is phase detect, yet you don't have continuous autofocus. I don't know. Maybe there's something I can read in Hasselblad. If you know, let me know. Anyway, long story short, it really held up. The colors were great. I'm going to show some sample images either during the video or after or whatnot. And you can kind of take a look, some sample pictures from that. But in another thing, in addition to the images being surprisingly in focus, all of them, they were either totally missed or totally on focus, tack sharp on the eye. The colors were amazing. No real post-processing needed. It was amazing. That wasn't quite the case with the SL3S. Just a little bit more tweaking, but again, not much. I still love the files from there. We're comparing two of my favorite cameras right now. Even though this is still new, the colors and the way these images come out of the camera is super easy. It's right in line with what I like. And to me, I like that. I like, and it's all subjective, but that's why I like shooting with my Leicas, is because the colors out of them, I don't have to do much. I already like it. I already like the way they render the color. I already like the way they're processing all that information. With the Hasselblad, it's just amazing. Obviously the image files, but there's a cost to that, right? So it's like, okay, well, I'm still trying to figuring out when I'm going to bring this and when I'm not, and when I'm going to stick to the SL3S. But I love shooting with both of them on the shoot. I think I'm going to pause this right now before I kind of go off on another tangent to talk about something related to this shoot. Okay, so I've restarted this video and now I've changed the settings on the Leica SL3S to continuous autofocus. So we'll see whether that's just as good as IAF, better, worse, we'll see. And you guys can let me know in the comments what you see on there. Yes, so this shoot, I decided to experiment with the camera because this wasn't a paid shoot. A friend of mine was modeling for this company. They needed a photographer last minute. I know this company. I'm looking at their website and their gram. You can obviously tell they're a smaller company and they're not paying for a consistent photographer. You see like the images, they're not really tagging the photographers on there. And I don't know how other markets are. Again, I'm in the Southern California market. This is something that you come across every once in a while, and I just wanted to kind of bring up the topic for discussion and see what you guys think. I decided to do this going in eyes wide open. I knew this wasn't going to be a paid shoot, and that's why I wanted to go ahead and bring the camera. Was I going to get some portfolio images out of there? I don't know. Honestly, I knew I was going to get maybe something, but you never really know. You don't know what models are going to show up, and the location. A lot of this stuff was not in my control. There wasn't the best location, it wasn't the best lighting, but I still think I got some really good shots actually that are portfolio worthy. So I'll definitely have something to use for my portfolio, but also more importantly, I wanted an opportunity to test this camera out and compare it against my Leica SL3-S. And I didn't want to do that on a paid shoot, and for me it worked out. So that's why I chose to do this. Now, as I went down the line and talked to them, everyone was very nice, for the most part. And started messaging after I got back and downloading the photos and saying, even though it was just a collab, I said, hey, would you, to the business owners, I'm like, do you want to see the images? Do you want me to just send over whatever I process? They're like, actually, you could just send over the RAWs. And I paused. And I'm going to just tell you my stance on it. I said to them immediately, okay, I can send you the RAWs, and I'll send the RAWs for this price. Now, I'm not going to give them, I was going to give them edited images for free. And I'm also kind of debating within myself, okay, well, is this something I want to do? Do I want to just give them the RAWs? And I said, no, I don't want to just give the RAWs. I'm going to be editing for my portfolio anyway. I don't want to make it that easy for them to, because clearly they want to take the RAWs and they want to go ahead and put their own style on there to make it consistent on their gram. I had some further discussions with them just to kind of confirm what they've been doing up until this point. And they confirmed that they've been leveraging off of the models to have photographers come shoot for trade. And they've had them, and they've been successful in getting those photographers, apparently every single one. Apparently I'm the only one that hasn't done this. They've gotten the other photographers to give them the RAWs for free. So I ask you all this. My personal opinion, I don't think as photographers we should make it this easy for other people to continue to take advantage of photographers and just give them RAWs. With AI and with the state of the industry and the market right now, it's already pretty tough. I think, and there's always going to be exceptions and people are going to be struggling, they're going to choose to do it anyway. But I think when you do that, yeah, you're going to give them the images anyway. I'm going to give them the processed images. But I don't want to make it so easy for them to just to go ahead and have the RAWs and then just slap on and make a consistent look. If you want a consistent look, you should be hiring a photographer on a regular basis. I'm a photographer. I have a regular family photographer that takes our family photos. I pay good money for that photographer. I like her, I like the work she does, and I pay her. I had another family photographer before that. I would pay her, then all of a sudden she started getting too busy with weddings and other commercial work and film stars, so she just doesn't do that anymore. It's not beneficial for her. I support photographers, and I'm a photographer. So, and I think the price I was quoting for the RAWs was very reasonable. It was pretty much equal to like my hourly rate and then some. And that was for all the RAWs for a 2-hour shoot, which I was only planning on being there an hour. I don't know, that's my stance. What do you guys think? I don't think as photographers we should be allowing companies to get off that easy. If they want RAWs, that's fine, then you pay for the RAWs. If it's a collab and you're getting something out of it and they're getting images out of it, then they get your images. And please make sure that they're tagging you. I don't know whether these people are going to tag me, okay? And that's why I'm not going to give them the RAWs, so that way they can slap it. I'm like, oh, well, I edited and that's how I'm not going to tag you. I don't know. I'm not expecting much from them, okay? I did this, again, eyes wide open. I did this because I wanted to compare the Hasselblad X2D with the Leica SL3. I wanted to see how much I can rely on this camera in an actual real-world situation before I actually get into a real-world situation. Even though I did do that with the studio shoot, but that was a friend, and we could have always rebooked if it was an absolute disaster, which it wasn't. And I was tethering, so I was looking along the way to see that, yeah, the images were tack sharp. So I don't know. That's where I'm at. Don't know how long this video is. Ugh, probably too long, but anyway, I just missed autofocus right there near the end. I kind of messed around with it. So if it fluctuates right in this section, ignore that. That was me. So, all right, I'll close it off here. Let me know what you guys think. Oh, one final thing too, just as a side note. I bought this camera used. It's past the return policy, so I own it. I'm keeping it. When I got this thing, the great condition, the plastic film was still on it. This thing was unmarked, like looked brand spanking new. I have only had this for a couple of weeks. I haven't dropped it, haven't done it. I take really good care of my cameras. One thing I have noticed, even though this thing is really rugged build quality, I don't know if this is going to come across just from putting it down, not dropping it, just putting it down and picking it up, putting it down on cement, on outdoor. I don't think this is going to come across. Is it going to focus here? Oh boy, here we're testing the autofocus here. I don't know. I think it's going to focus on my face. Is that going to do it? Okay, it's not going to happen. Anyway, there is the paint. So you see like the metal on the corner over here. On the front over here. Okay. That is more wear than I have ever seen on any of the Canon cameras that I have had. Those things, the paint and the way it holds up is amazing. The only camera that I've seen wear and like this is my Sony cameras. The paint would come off pretty easily, but not this easily. Like this is kind of crazy. Again, it's just purely aesthetics. It's just paint, so I'm not really concerned. And again, it's a new camera, so we'll see how this thing holds up. It feels solid. I'm not saying the paint is a reflection of the build quality, but it's part of it, right? It's part of it. It affects the resale value. So I don't know. Just one thing I just wanted to note on here. I have not had a camera where the paint has worn off as easily as this thing. And I know other people have mentioned that. And I just thought it would take longer for this to happen. But okay. So with that said, now I am done. So please in the comments, let me know what you think about the whole raw situation. If you got any comments or questions regarding the Hasselblad or regarding the video on this, we'll see. I'll take a look at the footage and maybe I'll issue a subsequent video or add some comments after this video as to what I thought was the best setting on here. So, all right, you guys can weigh in and let me know. All right, thanks.